Check. 1, 2. Yo, what up, Pete? Check. 1, 2. Let's get some more compression. Check. There we go. All right. See what we got here. We got one person there. We got Facebook going. All right. How we doing tonight? Yo, I see Heat in the chat. I don't see anybody else just yet, but we gonna get there. Just rocking out with some music this evening. Appreciate everybody joining me. Figuring out some bugs that I could not do remotely. Got a little background music going. KK. Share the stream. Shouldn't have to say it. What up, Womp? I see you in the Facebook chat. See if you can get over to YouTube there. Better video quality, better audio quality. Share the stream. There's a YouTube link in the Facebook chat. Should be looking pretty good here, and should be in some high quality 1440p. There we go. All right. There it is. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get into it. If people join, great. If not, so be it. So we got a session from, let me turn that back down just a little bit. So we got a session from Delvon, I believe is A1. I could be wrong on that. Probably should have checked on name, but we're good. So yeah, we are. Thank you for sharing Womp into the FL Gangland. Share. So yeah, we live. We are doing a Fix Your Mix. He sent me this session earlier. It's quite a big mix with 31 tracks. I did do some work on it earlier. I just getting some stuff named. We'll go ahead and take that back off. Just getting some stuff named, getting it kind of placed and just kind of cleaned up into a session, and then we will continue on from here. All right, so like I said, it's 31 tracks to start with. It's a drill type track. I'm actually gonna. I see you in the chat there. Have fun at work. Sucks you got to work so late. So yeah, we are here. I got this going here. So I'm gonna just kind of play through the track as it is, or as it was sent to me, and then we will go through and fix the mix. And I'll treat it how I would treat it. Any questions or comments kind of throughout the way, let me know. I'm going to, like I said, play it right now as it is currently, or as it was sent to me in an MP3. So here it is. Hey, what up, Manny? Join on over to YouTube for the better audio quality. What up, AI? What up, my guy? So yeah, that is what the track that it was sent to me as. So what we're gonna do is go through and peep the individual elements. We're going to go through and just kind of figure out what it sounds like and what it should kind of sound like. There's a lot of elements. Like I said, for everybody, if you're joining on Facebook, go ahead and move over to YouTube if you want. It's a little bit better of a quality. My dad is texting me. Hi, parents. So yeah, we're gonna get through and we're gonna just kind of play it through and kind of go through the different elements and see how I would treat it and so on and so forth. So like I said, I went through earlier and I took the session and I broke it down into, named everything, but I didn't do anything else other than just kind of give it a basic listen. I didn't even have proper speakers. It was on a laptop. So yeah, with FL Studio, I'm just going to go through and we can solo out individual tracks. Let's see, WAMP. Yeah, I'm also using OBS WAMP and not just StreamYard. I think is the issue there too. So yeah, we're gonna go through and play the kind of each individual track and go from there. So I've got what we've called a fill siren. Just this kind of little womp 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 kind of thing. Interesting little sound there. Pretty standard chant. Kind of scattered through there. We've got a horn stab. One of them. I think there's 2 or 3 throughout. Pretty standard trap transition here. 1. So that was our riser. We also have a downer. We had a vocal loop here. We had an 808 loop here. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. If y'all hear anything, if everything's sounding good so far, everything looking good. It should be. It was 1440p, 60 frames per second, so we should be looking good. There was also this little, just as it was used twice throughout the track, it's what I called a dubstep bass fill. Then we had this other one, I called it vocal phrase 1. Knock the fuck out. Knock the fuck out. Horn stab 2. Kind of like that really fade in, especially when it plays against this other horn stab. Really gives it some body. Had this female tag.
Oh dear. I want to miss it.
I had this one. It was called Perk Rolls. We had a stadium clap. I saw this was from Cashmere's kit, which I really like that kit, and I really should do another song with it. Just a standard clap. Our main kind of kick line here really kind of drives it along. Some piano chords. Really filtered already. Our main hats. I called this one a vocal call. I called this one another vocal loop. kind of really builds up the intro. Another vocal call here. Just kind of a delay chant that's got on there. All right, and then we got the main intro and bridge string loop, as I called it. And then over here we got our snare roll fills that kind of also hype up the intro. We've got some perk loops. Really just kind of drive it along. Hey Thomas, I see you in the Facebook chat. Come on over to YouTube. It's a little bit better quality video and audio wise. So yeah, just come join. Link should be pinned. We have a keys here as well. I called this one a clap snap. It's just kind of a quick. Another kind of vocal call. Some good old chants. Some closed hats. Everything comes in threes. We got a clap loop here. We got some more hats. And those are really dancing around kind of through the stereo field. And then we've got this nice little music box to round it out here during the intro. And I think that's the only time it's actually played. It is. And I actually really like this with the contrast of the intro, the bridge and string loop. Kind of just adds a little bit extra in there. So yeah, that is the track in the entirety. I'm actually going to play it back again just as it is here, and then we will get into how I would treat this. So I'll play this through again. All right, so that is what it sounds like now. And yeah, Manny, I think this is going to be pretty straight up. However, I think it does need. There are a lot of elements going on at once, so I think it does probably need a lot of separation of elements as far as in the mix, as far as leveling and compression and choosing where to space things throughout the stereo field, you know, left to right and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm going to start probably just with the basic master plugin on my master chain. And actually, I think I need to do one more thing too. I need to. Oh, your sounds are great, A1. Like I said, I think everything really just needs to get leveled out and spaced appropriately, so everything has a chance to breathe. So I need to do one thing, is that select all these tracks and then come over here to our mixer and assign them. My hats did not make it in the middle of there, but that's fine. We'll do this and throw it at the end. That's annoying. There we go. All right, so everything there is assigned to our mixer. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to probably mix into just a very basic mastering plugin for the moment, and if I need more, then I will throw up the iZotope Ozone as to be more effective. But right now I'm just going to start with what I typically run, and everybody always asks me, what do I use on my mastering chain, if anything? And it is this plugin right here. It is the Puigchild 670. And I literally, on every single battle track, and I did this because it started when I was making a lot of beats at once. I needed something that was quick, dirty, sounds good, didn't have to put a lot of thought into it, didn't have to go in and EQ everything separately and everything. So I typically will produce into this plugin here, and I will also I literally use a preset. It's Drew Levine Vintage Mastering Glue. Everybody always asks. This is literally what I mix into for 99% of my battle beats. If anything goes further than that, as far as if it needs to be mixed into a song or mixed into anything that needs to be more, maybe tweaked a little bit more, yeah, I will pull out iZotope Ozone. But 99% of what? 99% of my battle beats I will mix into a Puigchild 670. Puig Child 670. It comes with waves for those who have acquired that. So yeah, we can see everything assigned here. We've got everything going, and it's literally just a quick, simple secret sauce. It is great. Every once in a while I'll touch on some of the parameters of it, but literally, I mean, the preset works. So this is without the preset. Let's get into some more meat here. So that's without the preset. This is with it. Oh, snap. Hey, shout out. That's a great tip right there. I appreciate that. That came after. Hey, shout out, Caveman. That's a wonderful quick trip there. So yeah, we're gonna mix into that for a moment, and like I said, if I need anything further, I will go into iZotope and pull it up. So I'm also right now going to take all of our tracks minus our master. It's been a while since I've actually mixed like a full track in here, Nana. There There it goes. So yeah, we're gonna take all of these tracks. We're going to pull them down. Oh, nope. Scroll wheel does not like that. So we're going to start kind of with this intro and work in that, and then kind of go from there. So we've got our main intro and bridge string loops. If anybody's interested in some of the tools that I typically use, this list right here is probably minus quite a few of them, but a good portion of the normal plugins that I'll use throughout a track. I mean, if I really want to tighten something up, which I'm actually probably about to use this right now, it's this Aphex Vintage Exciter. I really like this CLA 2A on snares if I really want a good, just like cracking snare. I'm all for stock plugins for any delay effects, Fruity Delay 3, Fruity Reverb 2, anything like that. I'm probably not going to get into it today just because this isn't calling for it, but thermal from output is wonderful. Yeah, like I said, if I need anything, I've been trying to use out the new Lux Verb from FL Studio as well. Yeah, Delay Bank is good. I just like the newer kind of Delay 3 versus Delay the older school kind of way, but good old Delay Bank. So yeah, we're gonna start off with this intro loop. We're gonna throw just a touch of compression on it. I'm also a big fan of just the parametric EQ2, which we'll probably throw on there as well, and EQ, and then we are going to throw this Vintage Exciter on there as well. Do not need that much of it though. It just adds a touch of an older school analog feel, and how I also get rid of some of the digital noise as well. And I think most of my producer buddies that ever sends me Pink what? But yeah, if anybody sends me a track, I usually say it has some digital harshness in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this band 6, the pink here, and kind of all throughout, all that is just where sound is playing. So actually, it makes this bigger. So for those that don't know, an EQ is how we adjust tone. Correct. Yep, that's... Yeah, the brighter the color, the stronger the frequencies are there. So an EQ, and especially a parametric EQ, are really special. We use them a lot in live sound, but we're also going to use it a bunch here. Allows us to not only control where sound can be amplified and taken back out, we can also control how much of the sound we affect. So we have our boost or cut. I'm typically more of a cut kind of person. Really only boosting whenever we need it. But with the parametric EQ, you also get this BW control down here, which stands for bandwidth, and you can affect a lot of frequencies at once with one token, or you can affect a very, very narrow band of frequencies. So right now we're going to probably just take out a gentle little slope, and I usually tell people for digital harshness that we're trying to get rid of, we're usually aiming for like 2.5 to 3K. Or hertz. So that will help take out some of the digital harshness that kind of can, even from older samples that are being introduced into a digital world, just kind of help clean it up. So this is without the EQ or the exciter. That is with the EQ. And that is with the exciter. It kind of brightens it back up just a little bit, but with some analog kind of warmth to it, especially on the lower end. Especially with these snares right here, in working on to the intro, I'm going to, I think I'm going to treat it as mono, so I'm going to throw the CLA2A mono on there, and I'm going to narrow its stereo field, and I'm going to throw the CLA2A on here, and because it will tighten up a snare and sharpen it so much, I'm going to play it without it, just the snare. With no CLA2A on it. It's also going to make it louder, at least apparently louder, just due with the how a compressor works. So that is without 2A. This is with 2A. So it just really sharpens it back up. We're going to pull up this vocal loop 2. And no problem. Yeah, we're just working on balancing everything. So I tell people a lot of times when I'm mixing, the first key is sound selection. You've obviously got that. The next key is just level adjustments. And then you can get into the effects of everything as far as, like, you know, distortion or saturation and compression and things of that nature. The main key is always sound selection. And then it goes into level adjustments and gain staging. If you don't have either one of those first two keys, unlocking that third door with a better mix is going to be harder. So yeah. Just working on getting this intro kind of part right here. And just kind of working in each kind of part and seeing where each one kind of fits. If you are keeping track, I should have probably announced it. I've for this vocal phrase 1, I have taken its stereo field and completely widened it, and then I've also panned it to the left just a little bit. Again, just kind of trying to create different spaces for different elements, so not everything is either clashing all the way, hard pan left and right, and or also not all trying to meet in the middle. So I'm going to throw some EQ on this vocal tag. Again, like I said, I think I'm not usually an addition kind of EQ, but I am going to throw some in here. Is anybody else on Facebook? I have forgotten to check. No, everybody's. I got 2 viewers there, but we just making sure. I'm going to give a gentle kind of boost to the high end just to kind of get that to shine through just a touch more. So with this parametric EQ, your bands can be what they call peaking, which is where they affect the frequencies and the width that they are told to. So again, with the bandwidth, you can affect a very narrow band of frequencies, or you can increase the bandwidth and affect a whole bunch of different frequencies. They can be a high pass, which will let everything but the lows through. It'll let everything high through. Or they can be a low pass, which means that they let everything in but the highs. Kind of seems backwards, but high pass filter lets through the highs. Low pass filter lets through the lows. You can set those in various different ways. A lot of times with a high pass and a low pass, you can also create the old school telephone effect, taking out all the highs, taking out all the lows, boosting up the center frequencies where most voices are going to be. I might actually leave that telephone effect because I'm trying to increase the intelligibility of her voice against everything else, because it kind of gets lost just a little bit and I don't want to over compress everything. So I just took the EQ and again I just kind of made it into I've taken out a lot of the highs, I've taken in a lot of the lows, and now I've just got this here to try to increase the intelligibility of it.
Oh dear. I want to move it.
I did forget that there's a preset for that. Now that I've done a little bit of EQ, I'm actually probably going to throw just a little basic compressor on here. Just the FL compressor. I'll move that out from behind me. So a compressor is magic. However, it's very controllable magic once you know what the controls do. The threshold is the point of sound where the compressor will engage. That is where it will kick in.
Oh dear.
Which for ours looks like it will be, if I want to control that at the same level, it's going to be about, I want to set it below that, but about minus 17, let's say. The attack is how quickly, it's funny that you put radio on the tag, and now I'm actually adding, putting more onto it, or putting radio back on it if you took the effect off. So we put the threshold on at -17. We're going to take the attack and turn it down. As I like my compressors to engage as quickly as possible, but the attack is how quickly the compressor will engage once the threshold is crossed. The ratio is how much volume it will take out once the threshold is engaged at a certain ratio. So if we're sending 1 unit of volume out, you're going to get back out 1 unit of volume. If we send in 2 units of volume, we're going to get back out 1 unit of volume. So that's where a compressor can quiet down a sound. But it can also compress the signal as far as it'll take out it'll take the highest highs of the sound and also the lowest lows. I typically will set my compressor as fast as possible all the time. That's coming more from my live setting. Correct. 1-to-1 is no compression. AI. Anything higher than 1-to-1 is where you are anything higher than 1-to-1 is where you're actually applying compression. And yeah, so I always typically like my attack to be as quickly as possible, no matter what. It's just kind of how I've always set up, especially for live vocals. I want that compressor to really engage. There are some uses for a slower attack. If you're putting it on more like of a pad and it's got kind of a slow swell, you don't want it to completely quickly engage, but that's a use case. I want mine to be as quickly as possible, especially for a vocal or a drum or any sort of like a piano or anything like that. Oddly enough, this is set to my preferred release as well. A release is how quickly it will disengage the compressor once the threshold is gone back down below. So once the sound goes back down below -17.8, it will release the compressor and it will stop compressing. So I'm going to set this up to probably a little bit, let's say like a 5-to-1 compression, 0 attack, 200 milliseconds release. Sometimes you will need makeup gain, so I'm going to probably throw just a touch on there just to make sure. Since you are compressing it and technically making it quieter, I say that with air quotes, we do need sometimes what they call makeup gain, so to boost the signal coming back out of the compressor. So I'm going to throw just 3 dB on there. That seems like a nice round number. And then the knee is, or the type of compressor is, if you typically look at a compressor when it's on a technical graph, you'll see the line that it kind of traces, and what that does is that it's showing how smoothly kind of it'll roll, like with the attack. It's typically I like either a medium or a vintage knee. Sometimes hard can kind of snap it on, and soft is sometimes too slow. But it doesn't have to do with the speed. It's got some more so just with how it eases in and out of each one of those. So let's see. I can tell I'm going to need more level back out of that, which is fine. I've got my fader down at -9. We're going to go back up to -4. Turn that compressor back on. So it tightens up the sound a little bit, especially against everything else. Got to have back in my favorite part. I saw it down there at the bottom. It was hiding behind my mixer here. This music box. I'm going to bathe that in reverb. So we're going to throw on this new FL Studio Lux Verb. I'm going to start off with a preset and see what we can kind of get and then work it from there. So we're just going to go with we're going to try a Lush Pad Hall and see what that sounds like. Probably a touch longer than I would want. 12 seconds. We're going to bump that down to about 4. Do not want it affecting my input level as much. And the reason I'm throwing that reverb on there is I noticed that when the sound is originally playing, it cuts off a little abruptly. So this kind of helps just meld it into the rest of it. So we'll take without reverb. And then watch the fader on that last little bit. See how it just drops off immediately? What the reverb does is it helps just smooth it out. Just a touch. Cool. Gonna try and speed up just a little bit here. What else do we have in this intro? I've got our music box. I've got our intro bridge and string loop. I've got our female tag loop working. I'm gonna zoom this back out as well. I've got our vocal phrase working. That music box level down just a touch. No template womp. I created it. I'm creating it as we go. I had to hit up Rich for a good template there. Let me just check anybody laying around. Not at the moment. Cool. Oh yeah, no, and that's appreciated that you took all the effects off. That's exactly what I wanted. But this is working out very well. I do like that new Lux Reverb plugin. I think it's recent as far as like FL Studio 21. It's a nice stock plugin for being stock. It's got its nice little perks. Input level, it can cut and reverb and throw some feedback on there if you need to. Feedback being extra kind of delays, I believe, is how they're using it there. So I think I got everything here in this first section. And I did this with the vocal loop on the first one. I'm also going to do it on the second one here. That's also kicking in. Just paint it slightly to the right. That's going to be our big drop, just waiting. So, I really like this vocal call here that I tried to kind of boost its level a little bit. Especially, let's see, it's right here. I really want it to kind of shine through. Because it's kind of got a nice little eerie feel to it that then just drops right into that horn. So yeah, let's get into the main section and we'll keep on moving. Sounds great. Just leave it like that. Give the drummer some. I'm not going to do anything artistically. I'm not going to do anything artistically A1, but if you really wanted to just throw a little drop out of like 4 bars of this part right here. just like that. And just let that roll for like 4 8 bars. That would be a great little dropout. So we're gonna go. Let's see. We've got our. I really want to work with this perks because it's an interesting sound. I would have to look up what the original name for it was, but it was something bong, and it's just hilarious, and it's a great sound. So I am gonna compress, I think, the crap out of it just to control it some. I'm gonna go back just to the Fruity compressor, stock plugins all day long. I'm gonna set our threshold probably around -20. That would put us right around there, maybe a little bit higher. Start at -16. Go up a little bit higher, like I said. Instant attack, slower, at least there. And a whole bunch of gain back, which seems counterintuitive, but what it's... and then I'm also going to work that against our kick. I really should have gone through and color coded this a little bit better. Kick is on 16. There it is. I will always typically make my kick and bass mono, guaranteed. So I'm going to actually take those out, and I'm going to work this sound and others against our kick and our bass and see where we land there. Because I always, for drill and trap and hip hop in general, everybody's all about a good punchy kick and bass. So we're going to see where we land with those. With our 808, I'm hearing some like clicks at the very top, so I'm going to come in here to our parametric EQ, take our top band and turn it into a low pass. Also turn it into a steep 8, so that means it's wherever, like you can see that it's really just tailing off sound. And I'm going to take this at just really... So if you're looking closely here, I'll actually make this bigger so you can see it. If you, on the parametric EQ here, you can see the pink just slightly lighten up this top end. And that's what I'm trying to take out. And again, I'm not typically a boost kind of person, but usually for an 808, especially on this, I'm going to give it some... little bit of a boost there above normal. Steep 80 feels canned off. You shall not pass. You shall not. Basically. Probably for this part as well, I'm going to take this widener and just spread it, this initial one out. Actually, I think going to apply this to the kick as well, just to kind of... T-Felder, I do not typically soft clip, but what I'll do, and I might do it on this one as I'm looking at it, is I will come in here to these pre-computed effects if I really want to kick or something just to bash you in the face. There's a few different ways to do it. If for some reason like you're already maxed out, but this is sitting there, you can turn up the volume just a little bit. That might get you a little bit extra. You can come over here to the gear icon and just turn up your level adjustment there. I've done that. And then I also typically do this as well. I'll take this and I'll just boost the actual sample wave amplitude, and this is going to boost it way the hell up, but we'll take it back down here. And that will sometimes also clip just a little bit on its own. I don't want to boost it too much though, since this is not calling for a super punchy kick, especially since it's such a fast kind of staccato pattern. I don't always do it AI as far as low pass and the kicks and 808s. The only reason I'm doing it here is because on the 808 especially, there's a touch of a little like just snip. So here on this 808, I'm going to turn off the EQ. So it's off, and let me solo that. You hear on there's just a touch little snip. Just trying to clean it up just a touch. I'm going to try and throw thermal in here. I know I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So for those who don't know, this is Output Thermal. It is a wonderful production tool for anything, distortion, that kind of thing. I'm going to just kind of cycle through some presets here and just see if I find something that will help just a touch. I love it when the first thing that I click is wonderful. I can tell I'm probably going to need to bring out Isotope to really kind of control the overall mix of everything, but we'll keep rolling. You'll probably hear a touch of clipping on it, but we'll get that right on the later end. We got our horn step 2. Yeah, I like that same horn step. The mix knob here, I'm assuming on over here on the mix rack. The mix knob that I am turning here is, let's see, where'd my 808 go that I have this on, is how much of your original signal is being sent to that plugin. AI, I don't do by numbers. I do it by ear, and I know that's a terrible answer, but and T-Felder, to circle back, that is solely dependent on what you're wanting to do with it. So for this thermal one, when I have it all the way up, it does not sound. I'm going to copy the value there so I can actually get back to it. When I have it on this thermal, it sounds too much, and so what this will allow me to do is it just dials back the effect. I can do it in the plugin itself here with this wet dry knob, but I'm also just more so doing it to this here. So like if I have it all the way up on the 808 and solo, do you hear how the effect is too much? So I'm going to dial it back using that mix knob, and it will allow me to get as much of the effect out of it that I want, but still get the effect out of it. And yeah, AI, I don't gain stage to numbers typically. I gain stage to, unless that number is for some reason over 0. Thermal is by output WOMP, available around. I do not know if I still have the original install files for it, but yeah, no, I don't normally gain stage to numbers. I gain stage to ears unless it is for some reason over 0. But even still, that can sometimes sound good in some form or fashion with things like kicks or basses and things of that nature. So sometimes you can go over 0 in the digital world, but not usually, because it does not sound good. So yeah, just working on this this first kind of verse section, and then that should hopefully get us a good 50 to 60% of the way there. I'm going to compress this vocal loop here just to kind of help get it some more oomph into it. Turn down the threshold, up the ratio. Again, for this whoop, I'm going to bathe it in some reverb. Again, just kind of throwing a preset at it and see where it goes. We'll throw Vocal Hall 1 at it just for... see how it sounds. We're going to turn our input gain back up. And again, it's just giving everything space. That whoop. So just that is with reverb. This is without. Kind of just short and dry, kind of right there. Adding the reverb just kind of helps give it some extra space, but also brings a little bit of attention to it. And T-Felder, again, this is where I would probably turn down my mix just a little bit, or mix send here a little bit. I don't want it all the way. I want it to cut off just a little bit sooner. And that vocal call here does not sound as great where it just cuts off. So I'm going to actually, or I wanted a little bit different level. Is that anywhere else? Transition wise, it should be fine. But I do not want this as loud in the verse as I do in the intro transition right here. Versus here in the verse. Especially with how abruptly it sounds, but it ends. I do not want to bathe it in reverb at the moment, because I also like how it sounds here. I could set up a whole bunch of different automation clips to either control the volume and or reverb send. I do not want to do either at the moment. So we're going to take this vocal call and we're going to turn down its level here in the verse. Touch more. convinced I need reverb. It's 19. But I am going to do a quick automation clip with that as well. Lux verb. Vocal hall 1 sounded fine. Turn on. Create automation clip. I still do not want it on for any of these transition times. I literally just want it on a little bit to help out ease the smoother the abrupt sound ending right there. So we're going to do that. And that should hopefully take care of that. So we get a little bit of reverb in the softer sound here, and no reverb here on the intro. Okay, so that is done. We are going to turn up our, let's see, I was working on this. I'm just going to break all the rules. We're going to take our parametric EQ on this fill siren. And I really want it to stand out because it's only used sparingly throughout the track, 6 times total. I could just boost its volume up, but I'm actually just going to throw a quick EQ boost on its kind of fundamental frequencies there, around 150 hertz or so, just to make it stand out. So this is without the EQ and with the EQ. And so what that will do is also probably, wherever you're playing this that has a massive amount of bass, it will also probably hit the subs just a little bit harder, which is nice. So we've got our first tracks there. The one that I'm still waiting for is this dubstep fill. That's not all the way over here. We'll go ahead and fill that in as well. I said I wasn't going to make any musical choices, but I hope this is okay. I'm wanting to really emphasize this bass kind of feel. And I see my keys too will also be going to that spot. there is a effect I want to try with this. Do I want Maximus? I'm gonna try Maximus because I want to be able to see it. T-Felder, yes. To the left, if you look up, actually, I'm blocking it at the moment. Let me take my face out of there first, and then, yeah. So up here, check right here whenever I change it. Left, we'll do 100% separated. To the right, we'll do 100% merged. That is a good tip, Caveman. I appreciate it. I'm typically more shortcut oriented, but I'm trying to be very literal in what I'm dragging and dropping to. And yeah, like the live please on YouTube. That would be appreciated. I'm going to try and do this quite a bit more often. That would be appreciated. So I'm going to try and do this about once every 2 weeks or so. Trading off with Heatmaker. So yeah, and then we'll probably maybe get into more stuff later. So the effect I'm looking for right now is I want the piano that I have set this to, the piano chords loop, to kind of really shine through. And I want to see if, but I don't want it always to be shining through. I want it to kind of duck down just a little bit as well. So we're trying to just tuck it back down below. That's what I'm looking for. Again, I'm breaking kind of some rules here, but there really are no rules. You can break them however you want, as long as you know what you're doing and you don't hurt people's ears. I'm taking on this piano loop as well. Again, I want that kind of just one piece of it to kind of shine through. So I'm taking a parametric EQ at this frequency that I've... and just boosting it up here just so it shines through. yeah, so I threw thermal on here on this perk loop just to add a little bit of grittiness to it. Kind of help it stand out from the rest of the everything else going on at the moment. Trying to figure out where I am. So this sound is already coming to me as pan hard left and hard right, and it's kind of ping pong in between them. So I'm just going to throw the stereo separation all the way out so it can really kind of push those in different directions. Paint our main hats to the right just a touch, so I'm going to throw these close hats to the left just for some variation in our sound. Throw this 2A stereo on our hats as well, just to really get them clacking on these close hats. But I'll probably have to pull my level back down as well. We'll see. Oh yeah, way down. What it does, it just kind of helps tighten up the sound. It obviously makes it louder, but it's also sorry, I was reading the comments there as well. So yeah, once it is on there, it will make things quite loud, especially if you turn up both of these knobs. It's, you know, a simple 2-knob kind of thing, gain and peak reduction. The more peak reduction you have, the quieter the sound will get, but it'll really kind of push it. So if you really want a snare to pop, 50-50 on both of those and let it roll, but be prepared to turn it back down. But this should hopefully just tighten up just a touch. Just adding some little basic tight reverb. It's a 1-second reverb on these vocal calls, just to help give them, get them to sit in the space. Trying to see where I haven't touched it. And I think I have touched basically everything minus these last few. So we'll see where we start sitting here. And we've touched the music box, hat loop. Okay. finish this off, at least for this little part, I'm going to take our main intro and loop and throw some reverb on it. Actually, I'm going to try delay and see what that does. But I only want this to obviously be on this very last note. So we're going to zoom in over here. Come back over here. And just give it a little bit of an end. Maybe more feedback there. Right. So that in and of itself is what I would do for a basic mix for what I would say a battle beat. I am going to take the time real quick to throw iZotope on here and just see if that can enhance it even further. We will see. So we're going to throw iZotope Ozone 9. It's been a while since I've used this. We're going to turn off our Pleachild. I have not updated iZotope in quite some time because once I really want to see if I could find iZotope Ozone 5 again because I really missed their hip hop preset in that one version. Everything past like version 6, 7, 8, and 9 now has just been not as great in my opinion. They have added way too many options. My older millennial or my millennial self just doesn't like as much. So we're going to throw Ozone on here as well and see what it wants to find. Occasionally I will start with presets and kind of tweak from there. I think that's I probably have 5 somewhere. I just kind of hadn't looked for it. So let's see. This is, like I said, I'm going to try a preset and see what that kind of can sometimes get to us. I'm going to try trap and see what that does. And a lot of times I'll tweak from there. Or I'll use their master assistant. I mean, I have no issue or qualms about taking shortcuts if it makes my creative process that much more straightforward. So I'm going to try this trap preset and then go from there, and then we'll try the master assistant and see what that does, and then kind of go from there as well. It certainly makes it louder. I can already tell that I do not like this. So we are going to clear this out by using the master assistant. WOMP, this is Ozone 9. iZotope Ozone 9. We're gonna say modern. We want the mouth, usually keep it in the medium, and I usually like stream, since I'm usually bouncing to lossless anyway for anything that's going to CD, I'm going to go with CD. Play the loudest portion of your track. It's been a while since I've actually used this. So we're going to play and let the master assistant figure out what it wants to do. All right, so we're gonna see what Isotope Isotope thinks between the two. So this is my version. This is ozone. I was thinking the same thing, AI. It if I was gonna put the time in and I can go in and tweak individual things here, I think ozone is doing too much. Yeah, I think I'm glad y'all are hearing that too. Damn, I am good. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna delete ozone for right now then. I appreciate that. So yeah, I think then with this, I'm gonna save because Control S is life. Yeah, I think that is fix the mix. Let me pull in the original here. Actually, I don't know what I want to pull. I want to pull. WinRAR. I want to pull the master file over. If it'll do that. And yeah, Caveman, Will. I think we are going to, like I said, I think Heat and I are going to be alternating weeks for the moment. We'll. I appreciate everybody for joining in. I'm trying to get this loaded in. If not, I'm going to exit that and see if I can do it another way. Go away, WinRAR. Nobody likes you. I'm done. I already got the folder. There it is. So let me also turn off my master plugin. So this is the original. Alright, so yeah, that's the original. We're gonna mute that mixer, turn back on my master plugin. Like I said, this plugin does so much wonder for me, just in a for its ease, its speed. Like I said, I have no qualms about using a preset. It is, everybody always asks me, what do you do for mastering? What do you do for mastering? For battle beats, this is literally it. I will not usually put anything else on a master chain. It is the Puig Child 670 stereo, Puig Child 670 stereo, Drew Levine folder, Levine vintage mastering glue. That is the only thing that I will put on most of my battle beats. And yes, I do mix into it. It used to be a problem because, especially if I was using Ozone, my computer wasn't power enough. Way back in the day, my computer wasn't powerful enough to mix into it at the same time as creating. Once I got faster and faster computers, I was able just to speed up my what is this plugin? Can you spum P? Oh, well, okay. Let me answer one question. WOMP Puig Child. It's over here, right? Follow my mouse right here. Should be spelled out. Puig Child 670. It is included in whatever version of Waves everybody usually has. Whether that is, I won't spell it out again. So the Puig Child is based off of what they call a Fairchild 670 or 660. They are vintage compressors / limiters. If you wanted to buy the real actual hardware version of one nowadays, they are about $30,000, and that's not including having to do all the maintenance on them every year or so, if not more. You'll see them in very high-end studios all across the world. I will use the software version of it. I'm sure that there are probably even more expensive plug-in versions of it somewhere, but this is included with Waves, and again, I've enjoyed it. Every once in a while, I'll come in here and tweak some of the parameters, but again, this preset right here, Levine Vintage Mastering Glue, has been my. It's not even a secret. I've told everybody about it. It has been my kind of lifesaver. So let me play through this one more time with what I have done to it mix-wise. Make sure that one is off so we're not blaring it. Now I'm going to save and play it through. WOMP, to answer your question, technically it is. It's probably technically clipping. If you're over 0 here on your master, this is technically my master because this is my current. Yeah, I'm technically probably clipping, but it's probably not clipping internally in FL's engine, which is where I'm not hearing any kind of distortion or anything. Every once in a while I can usually tell where I'm truly actually clipping, where you'll hear a few pops and stuff like that. But in this mix anyway that I'm hearing currently, I'm not hearing anything that's showing that I'm actually clipping anywhere else. I guess that's probably not technically soft clipping, but Yeah, keep an eye on the media here. I'm not actually hearing anything saying that I'm clipping as far as um, any pops or crackles or anything like that. That's an interesting check that I hadn't thought to do AI. I mean, so I think I said it in the live one of the lives the other night, where quite a few of the beats that I made from summer to just a few weeks ago, 2023 to 2024, I was working with just one speaker. I didn't feel like I was being lazy in my setup, and I didn't feel like putting back up my speaker, so I was working with one speaker. So yeah, we'll do a check with mono and see how it sounds. 100% merge my master here. Let's check it. And sorry, pausing on myself here, but and typically what I'll do for a mono kind of check is I'll play it on my phone. I know technically that's stereo, especially if you're holding it more this way, you'll get a lot of the panning. But if I'm holding my phone, portrait mode, it'll be more mono. Like I said, if you turn it this way, you'll definitely be able to get the stereo imaging, at least on iPhones and stuff like that. But yeah, let's check it mono and see what we sound like. 100% merged here. Appreciate you. So yeah, it sounds pretty good, mono. I think if I was going to need it to be a mono, or if I wanted to do a more thorough kind of check, I would really fire up some meters and stuff like that. There was some stuff that I noticed, the female tag, especially in mono versus stereo. So this is in stereo. Versus in mono. I lose it a little bit levels wise, but not the end of the world. Like I said, that's more where I see the value in checking on your phone, checking on your car, checking in, the shitty Bluetooth speaker that you have lying around. I'm actually somewhere where we unpack some of my wife's stuff, we found some really crappy speakers, and I really want to throw them up here just to have that really crappy kind of extra set of speakers to check through. So yeah, that's where checking your mix on every kind of source that you have available. I have a pair of ear pods sitting here next to me, not AirPods, but the old Apple earphones sitting next to me as well. So yeah, checking everything on every source that you have available is obviously the way to go. It just saw saw a comment there. Let me pull that back up from T Felder, where he said it was so clear. And I think he was around for my other statement earlier, but again, like I said, the main keys to start with are that you pick good sounds. Let me get into the camera frame. I'm not used to this. You pick good sounds, and you properly gain stage / level them. Those are your two main keys. The third is that's when you add your effects. You can't have a good mix without the first two steps. You can't have a good mix without good sounds and good gain staging / leveling. That's usually one of the first things that I'll go through if I'm going to go in and fully mix a track of either my own or somebody else's. Is I will go through, and I think everybody saw, is I pulled all my faders down to 0, and then I started working stuff in with faders, and then I started adding effects. So that's usually where I land on things like that, where it's good sounds and good gain staging / leveling. But I think that's everything for tonight. Unless anybody else has any more questions, I'd be happy to answer. So yeah, how was everything on y'all's end as far as everything was good video quality wise, sound quality wise? Like I said, I appreciate everybody joining in. Like I said, we'll probably be doing this Heat's got next week. I'll take the week after that. I think I've got one lined up already that somebody sent me tonight, so I'll start just making a list and start checking them off, hopefully. T Felder, yes, this will this is going to live here at this YouTube link. I don't typically delete anything. It's also on my Facebook profile where you originally were. Like I said, this is probably the best quality here on YouTube comparatively. I think next time I'll probably try and add in Twitch, and subscribe and like, share the stream, share it to anybody who has any questions, tell them to hit me up. I don't like gatekeeping. I don't like gatekeeping information. That's been one of my big things, where it's just nothing's a secret. You want to see how I do something? Ask. I'll tell you. That's like that for mastering preset. That's not a secret. I'll let y'all screenshot it. There you go. That is my mastering secret for 95% of the battle beats that I make. Is that preset. So yeah, if no more questions, I will see y'all in 2 weeks. Heat will see y'all next week, and we'll #fix the mix.